Taking a hit today, my friends. Taking a hit. Talking about what it's like taking a hit, losing money day trading. Today, losing some big money on ATER. I'm going to show you guys what went down. You saw the live stream this morning. Well, here we are, and I had to take a loss. I took a big loss today, my friends. I took a big loss on ATER, and that's just part of the game. Big winners, you know, decent-sized losers, but at the end of the day, we're looking for big winners and, you know, just decent size losers. Breaking it down right here in this video. How do I handle it? How do I keep going? Talking about it right now, right here. Let's go. All right, so ATER is down to $12.37 now. And well, obviously, I wanted it to go the opposite way. I wanted it to break above $19, run up there to $30, and, you know, then obviously I would have made so much money today. I'd have been rich. But instead, well, ATER did exactly the opposite of what I was looking for it to do. Now, if I would have bought put options yesterday, then that might have been a good play. But instead, I bought call options on Monday on ATER, and I was up over $1,000 on those call options. And today, I ended up selling for a $2.6 thousand loss. That sounds like a lot when you say it like that, but $2,600 loss here on ATER. And I just wanted to talk about this and, you know, how do I handle that? And what do I think about when this is happening? You know, now that I've lost money here on ATER, does that mean that my strategy is broken? Or does it mean that, you know, this is a bad idea? Did I do something wrong? At the end of the day, the news came out on ATER this morning at 9 a.m. News came out that they had a debt restructuring, or they had some debt that they were going to pay off, or I don't really know exactly the wording of it, but the wording was basically they had debt, they needed to cover the debt, and they were going to pay the debt. And well, then news came out there at 9 a.m. and it dropped. It was up to $17 there at 9 a.m. and it dropped from $17 down to $12 basically throughout the day, just getting hammered. So ATER, like I said, you know, we had all the recipe for a short squeeze. We had the setup, we had the float, you know, we had everything that we needed for this setup to work out. But the problem is we just ended up getting slapped with some bull crap news PR there at the $17 level. Hey, if you guys enjoy these videos, do me one big favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. Also, if you want to learn more about Interactive Brokers, check them out, link down below. $558 there in August 26. We basically played the same exact strategy, looking for those call options on these big movers, buying those call options, holding those call options, you know, that are a little out of the money, looking for movements in the stock. And well, we went from $500 up there to $9,000. We jump up to 13. We had a pullback to 12. We run up to 18, 17.76. We had another pullback to that $11,000 level. And then now we ran up there to 18. And this morning I'm thinking, hey, we're going to blow through $20,000 on this account and we're going to just go to the moon today. But instead, you can see we got a pullback to the $15,000 level. So we're making higher lows. You know, our last low was at 11,500. We had a nice little push up there. And this has all basically been because of ATER. I would say that this move so far from here to here was from ATER. And, you know, this was BBIG. Got hammered on BBIG. We were right at that breakthrough point, and we ended up getting hammered and ended up losing money there on BBIG. But you can see overall the plan, the strategy works. So, you know, I really just got to focus on myself and focus on the strategy and focus on what I'm looking at. And the big thing for me, like the number one thing that I always have to remember here, guys, or you need to remember, and I guess we need to remember, is number one, we should never have a trade, no matter what, no trade that we should take should be able to take us out of the game. Now, I've got $15,000, right? I got $15,000. I went from 500 to 9,000. I went from 12,000 to 8,000. I went from 11,000 to 18,000. So I know that the thing here, the focus really for me in this account, for trading options on this account, is to, number one, take the big risk, or at least, you know, look for opportunity where there is a big upside, you know, a $10,000, $20,000 upside in profit, where my risk is only 1,000 to 2,000. So that's really kind of where I'm at. I've had already some $6,000, $7,000, some $8,000 days, and I've posted and showed you guys here on the channel. So I know, number one, that my profit days when I'm having a really good day, and the thing is, we really haven't had like a amazing setup where I just really crushed it to the point that I was like, oh my God, I hit a home run here. Now we haven't had a good, 1,000% mover since basically back there on SPRT or some of those stocks we traded last month. But in general, the thing for me is to focus on, number one, keeping that amount of money in my account. If I can keep $15,000 in the account, I know, number one, that I can turn that $15,000, into $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in profit. And I can do that. I just need to manage my risk, number one. So if I'm taking a $2,000 loss, which is totally fine, if I'm going for a profit of, $10,000, $20,000 in profit, taking a $2,000 loss is not going to take me out of the game. The problem is, if I take a bunch of trades, I don't cut it off. Like today on ATR, I could have held these call options all day long, which I ended up getting out for a big loss. I had to cut it off at the 1250 area. That 1250 was my stop. And obviously, it's painful to watch it go from 1250 back to 1450 just like that. But I had to stop. I talked about it in the live stream this morning. I knew what I had to do. So I had to be able to force that stop, and I had to get out at that point because I didn't know if ATR was going to go to 11 or 9 or $10 a day. And those call options could have just really hurt me. So instead, like I said, the focus at the end of the day for trading really should be, number one, never taking a trade or letting yourself get to a point where you can't make a trade tomorrow or you can't make a trade the next week, or when the next setup comes along, when the next big setup comes along, you should always be able to take that next big setup, and that's where I'm at right now. So we're still killing it. We're still moving. ATR, we had the plan. We were up beautiful last night. Everything was perfect. Everything was setting up, and this morning I really thought we had good potential to make that breakout and get from 17 to 19, $20. And it just didn't work out. And that's just how it goes sometimes. And that's trading. If it was easy and everyone made tons and tons of money, well then, it would be just profiting, I guess. And nobody would actually trade, and you just make money. So we had some insane moves. Like even today we had this move here on MRM. Look at this thing from the $11 area up there to 19, from 18 back to 11. So number one, we know that the moves are happening. The market's hot. We got some volatility in the market. There's some good opportunity to make money. We've had some other big movers. RWLK made a big move today as well from the $1.70 area up there to $2.50. So, there's a lot of opportunity in the market right now to play this strategy that I'm playing. And we've had a lot of good stocks that are gapping up overnight and been making some big moves overnight. And that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for those big movers overnight, some big action, because that's what we really are playing into. We want to see a big gap up because we're buying call options on a stock that looks prime, yesterday. It looked prime for a gap up or a move higher. So you're buying call options like this. You're buying like $15 call options when it's $12. And then bam, you wake up, it's at $15 and you're in the money in your green. So that's really what my strategy is right now, looking for calls, either, calls and puts, but mostly call options, because I feel like right now that's just kind of the strategy in the market. But, obviously, I could have done differently with ATR, but that's just not part of the strategy. But we have to know, number one, that no strategy is going to be 100%, right? No strategy is going to be 100% and stop us from ever having a loss. But when we do have a loss, like today, I had a loss. I took the loss like a man. I've taken it like a man, and, I'm moving on. So, it is kind of what it is here. So we'll see what happens if we can get this, move to happen next week. I think for me, probably going to take a day off, or I'm done today, obviously. But I think I'm going to take tomorrow off. It's Friday. I normally don't have very good Fridays, so I don't really see a reason for me to force anything or try to go and make a comeback here. I think it's better just to kind of accept the outcome of the day, and it is what it is. We took a hit, and we'll be back, and we'll take more money. We'll make more money. So if you guys haven't already, do me one favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.